So yeah, earlier today, I was with my student. We had a pretty good session today. So I'm kind of like breaking some things down. Um, One of the discussions that we had was about like metaphysical and physical. Like, she was telling me how she don't look at the physical, she look at metaphysical, and we just going over different. And I had to look up the definition of metaphysical, and I just looked at all this stuff, man. It was like really, it was like really complicated to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not complicated like that, but I couldn't take the time to sit down and read it and understand it because I'm sure she took the time to read it and understand it. So, and then she was like explaining to me about how she wanted to enlighten humanity and things like that. But we was talking about mentalities too before that, and I was trying to explain to her that I have to look at I have to look at everything. You know what I mean? I have to look at mentality. I have to look at everything. I mean, what I'm staring at as far as like if I'm going to be able to do something to make it better. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like we could be talking about our purpose in life, like you know what I'm saying, what her purpose is and what my purpose is and all these different things. And I just feel like once the human being knows his purpose, the human being is going to go and find the exact, well, not exact, the human being is going to find the things, the tools it needs to get to the purpose, to accomplish the goal, basically. So I was trying to explain to her is that if she's going to be able, or anybody in the world is going to be able to help humanity or help people, you first have to figure out where they're going in their life. That's the first step, pretty much. You got to figure out where they're going in their life, and you have to have a conversation with them. And then you got to be able to get them the tools or help solve problems that they have to stop them from getting. Stop them from getting to where they got to go. Because that's the only thing that really is stopping the human being from accomplishing anything, any goal in his life, is problems. They're gonna be doing. They're gonna go down the road, and it's gonna be a problem, and then they don't know how to fix it. So a person who wants to be able to help humanity in any kind of way needs to have a solution to that problem. They need to be able. I feel like you got to look at the problem. You got to be able to find solutions, and you got to be able to pretty much create a cure for it, so the problem never happen again. That's what you got to be able to do. So then that person, if it runs into a similar problem with that problem again, it's not going to be affected the same kind of way. It's going to be able to solve it itself. You have to teach the person how to solve the problem so they can solve it themselves. That's key. It's just my opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? Um, and it was, we talking about more about humanity and stuff like that. And I just feel like I was saying, it was the human being is really simple to me. The things that stop people pretty much from achieving their goals is problems and distractions, and probably bad energy around them. But problems and distractions is pretty much because the human being can still accomplish some shit with bad energy around them. I've done it plenty of times, and I'm sure you have done it too, whoever's listening. But it's problems and distractions. The human being does not have the solution to the problem that's in front of them. That's the one thing. And while the person is actually out there trying to get to their goal or get to their purpose or find a destination or whatever, they stop and start looking at other shit. They start reading other books and doing things that are not in conjunction with getting to where they're supposed to go. So for instance, if I'm trying to if I'm trying to build a house, right? If I'm trying to build a house and I'm learning about plumbing and all that type of stuff and everything, I'm not going to stop in the middle of building my house and start reading books about lakes and rivers and the sunrise and the moon, right? The only reason I would read those books if the information is helping me build that house. If any information is not helping me build that house, I am not touching that information because I have a house to build. All my energy and all my focus should be on the things that must be done to build the house. That's how I feel how shit get done. I feel like a lot of human beings right now, they got so much useless information stored in their brain and not enough useful information to get them to where they say they want to go. That's like right now. Millions and millions of people got that problem right now. They are distracted. They're not focused enough. You know what I'm saying? So they'll be working on one like people listening now know this is true. Like just be honest about it in your life. You could be working on something and then you'll see something on the internet or you get distracted on something and your brain is powerful and everything like that you'll stop working on what you was currently doing and start working on some other shit. But it becomes a pattern that you can't control. That's when it becomes a problem. If you're able to do it and still get back to your original shit and then go back to that later on and stuff and make it happen, and you knocked out your original project and everything, it was done, it was over with, and then you went back to the next thing, then I can understand, yeah, you got the ability to do that. But if you can't do it, if you keep on being distracted, looking at different shit, and you never get none of them joints finished, yeah, then that's the problem. And the problem is lack of focus and concentration. It's a distraction to be able to be acquiring knowledge about other shit that's not even going to help you accomplish your goal. That's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. I don't see the purpose of metaphysics in certain people's lives because when I hear people talk, sometimes they tell people what they need, right? And I'm like, how do you know what they need if they haven't told you? If you haven't talked to that person and they explain to you where they're going in their life, how do you know that they need what you're trying to give them? You don't know where they're going. So you're just going to give somebody something that you feel that they need, even though you don't even know if they need it or not. And I felt like that was a problem. See what I noticed too, man, is like a lot of people, and I've noticed this in some of my relationships in the past like that. A lot of people, and this is why I contributed to the unrighteous mindset. A person who have an unrighteous mind, right? Because a person with an unrighteous mind can only tell you something. They don't have the ability to solve your problem. They're not even going to ask how to solve your problem. They're just going to tell you some shit. That's all they're going to do. Because they don't actually, I feel like, in my opinion, they don't actually embody righteousness in their souls and stuff to be able to look beyond what they want for somebody else. See, when you're trying to help a person, you need to know what's wrong with them. You can't just be like, oh, I'm just no, forget what's wrong with you. I'm just gonna give you what I want to give you. And the reason why a person can do that stuff is because they have no knowledge, no deep knowledge of that individual. They only have knowledge of what they learned from somewhere else. See, if you're gonna heal humanity, you have to have the right tools. You have to have the right tools. You have to have the right keys to open up the doors for people so they can walk through the damn doors. It's really that simple. You know what I'm saying? So there was definitely a disagreement with that, man, because I don't understand how you even help a person. You know what I'm saying? When you don't take the time to understand exactly what they need. I think that's really kind of like crazy, dude. I think it's almost impossible, dude. You're not gonna help nobody. What you're gonna probably do is you're just gonna probably put information out there, and people will read it and see it, but they still won't know how to apply it to their life, and that's another thing. When you don't embody what you learn,